This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today it's all about pouring drinks and getting people answering questions and stopping people from having barroom brawls. Today we're talking about Mr. Lister's Quiz Shootout. It's for 3 or more players. It is a party game where you're trying to answer a certain top 10 type list together, more than the other team. So let's take a look. I'll see you on the other side. One cool thing about Mr. Lister's Quiz Shootout is the box. Look through the bullet holes in the box. You can actually see all the way through the game and through the back of the box. Really cool. In Mr. Lister's Quiz Shootout, you're trying to be the first team that can gain 5 different drinks by answering the questions better than the other team. The first to do that is the winner. One player will be Mr. Lister this round. They get this cool pencil with this awesome rubber mustache, and they'll have this card pad here that will help keep score, and they will have a question. Everyone else is split up into teams. I like to play this with 2 teams, as big as they are, doesn't matter. You can play with as many teams as you like. And this question will be given: the 10 leading regular coffee brands in the US. List them, and then you'd start it. The rules say give you a few seconds. We typically give about a minute. And people are going to be writing down their favorite answers. And once the time runs out, we will start with a specific team. That team will get a chance. Each team's going to get 3 hits. They are going to say what answer they think is going to be the most likely to be there. Now, typically what we do is we assign one player as the captain on that team, and everyone can sort of point to the ones that they want. They can pass in the ones that they've written, and they're trying to get their leader to say, what they think is the best one. But the leader has the final say, and the leader can change basically every turn. So we have this, and they might say something like Starbucks, and if they're right, the Mr. Lister say yes, hit, and they'll put it here. And the next player says Dunkin' Donuts from the other team, and they say sure, hit. And this player says something, and maybe they miss. So at the end of each of them get 3 guesses. Whoever has more hits will win the card. If it's tied, they go to a tiebreaker. So just to show you how this works, these are the answers here if you've been playing along. This is it right here where it says, Folgers, Maxwell House, Private Label, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and all the rest. And so that's what the answers are, and the person is looking at that, telling them if they're right or wrong. At the end, they read them all off just because that's always fun to do. But if they're tied, they go to a last chance saloon, which was a crazy thing. You're trying to be the closest without going over. What date is National Coffee Day? And so you're trying to be the closest without going over. So the earliest without going over, it's actually September 29th. That would be the tiebreaker. Somebody's going to get this card. Now, you're trying to get 5 different cards. So if you have 2 of the same, that doesn't do you a whole lot of good. But if you have 2 extra drinks that you don't need of any type, you can give them to Mr. Lister, who will confiscate any of the drinks from the other team that you don't want them to have. If you have 3 cards that you don't need, you can turn them in for any 1 drink. First to get 5 drinks is the winner. Alright, well there's Mr. Lister's Quiz Shootout. Now in the intro I mentioned a barroom brawl and staying away from it. That's one of the cool things about this game is if you read the backstory, this game was actually their rendition of a game from, there was a bar, I believe it was in the Midwest, and there was a guy named Mr. Lister, and there was people always fighting, sometimes killing people in their bar, and he got them to calm down by coming up with these quiz questions, and this is sort of their rendition of that. And I thought it was cool that it had sort of this true backstory. Now, it is a general party game. You can pretty much bring it anywhere, corporate functions, family functions, or you can even play with gamers. I found it to be fun. It really reminded me of a game when I was a kid, a party game called Outburst, where each team is going, one team at a time is going and trying to say as many of the top 10 lists as they can within the time. We loved that game to death, and this is sort of a twist on that, one that I actually like better, because not only are you trying to come up with things of like a lot of top 10 lists, but you only need to get 3 of them. So you're not really racking your brain. I mean, you are, but if you don't get all 10, it doesn't matter. Like, you can just get the best 3. But you're trying to find the ones that are most obvious. But the interesting thing is when it comes to your turn and everyone gives you the piece of paper as the captain, you're trying to figure out which one to say. It's like, yeah, you want to say the most obvious one first, but which ones, at this point, which ones do we think is the most obvious? It's really cool to kind of even going back and forth, first or second, having first or second place. It's very important because after they say, they might say the one that you really knew was this, like, oh man, that was my best one. Now what am I going to do? Which one do I think they're not going to say? Because I think these three are going to be it. And there actually is some strategy as to what order you pick the things in, which I think is really cool. I like that if it's tied, it goes to this crazy question, sort of wits and wager style, the closest without going over, but nobody will really know the answer. So it's interesting. Overall, I really enjoyed it. Everyone I've played this with likes it. Party games that can be played without a table, meaning you can just sit around the couch and play it, get extra thumbs up in my family. My mom loves that. She's like, can we just play something? We can just hang out, we can talk and hang out and play around the couch. And this is one of those games, so it gets an extra thumbs up for that. And because everyone I played this with loves it, because you can play it in the car, because you can play it in just so many different situations, I'm going to be keeping this one in my gaming library. So for that, let's give this a saxophone serenade.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter and making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.